What's up, debate fiends? Welcome back to 21 Reasons Why. Today we're settling a score from the point guard position, breaking down why Chauncey Mr. Big Shot Billups is in a completely different universe than Terry Rozier. One has a legendary nickname, the other has legendary hardware. Let's get into it. A Finals MVP ring speaks louder than a catchy nickname. Let's be brutally honest. While Scary Terry is a fun, marketable nickname for a player who can get hot, it doesn't even belong in the same sentence as Finals MVP. Chauncey Billups earned his hardware by leading the Detroit Pistons to a championship over the seemingly invincible Shaq and Kobe Lakers dynasty. This isn't just a trophy, it's the ultimate validation of leadership, clutch performance, and basketball intellect on the world's biggest stage. It's a permanent entry in the history books. A nickname, on the other hand, is a temporary buzzword for highlight reels. One is a career-defining achievement that legends chase their entire lives. The other is a cool tag for social media. When the debate is about greatness, tangible, legendary accomplishments will always crush catchy branding. Billups was the undisputed leader of a championship team, not just a scorer. Terry Rozier can fill up a stat sheet, no one denies that, but his role has always been that of a high-volume scorer, a spark plug asked to get his own shot. Chauncey Billups was something entirely different. He was the CEO of a championship organization on the court. He wasn't just running plays, he was managing the fiery personalities of teammates like Rashid and Ben Wallace, controlling the tempo against legendary opponents, and making sure the Detroit Pistons' identity was toughness and execution. Rozier is a valuable offensive weapon, a piece of the puzzle. Billups was the puzzle box, the entire framework that held everything together. He was the coach on the floor, the calming presence, and the unquestioned leader. That's a level of responsibility Rozier has never approached. All right, pause the debate. We've laid out our case. Now it's your turn. Get in the comments and drop your most savage, smartest, or funniest reason why Billups absolutely dominates this matchup. The best arguments will be immortalized in a future Users Edition. Don't hold back, we're judging every single one. Mr. Big Shot isn't a nickname you get for regular season stats. It's earned in the clutch. There are nicknames, and then there are reputations carved into the annals of NBA history. Mr. Big Shot is the latter. It wasn't a marketing gimmick, it was a promise. When the clock was ticking down in a hostile arena with a playoff series on the line, everyone in the building knew where the ball was going. Terry Rozier has hit tough shots, but they often feel like the result of a hot hand in a regular season game. Billups' clutch moments were methodical, calculated acts of assassination against an opponent's hope. This nickname is a direct reflection of his ice-cold veins and unwavering confidence when the pressure was at its absolute peak. It's a title earned through a career of delivering daggers, a level of legendary clutch performance that Rozier has never been tasked with, let alone achieved. Billups dismantled the Shaq-Kobe Lakers dynasty. Rozier has never faced that level of pressure. Let's properly contextualize this. The 2004 Los Angeles Lakers featured Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton, 4 first-ballot Hall of Famers. They were a basketball Voltron, the prohibitive favorites, and the NBA's glamour dynasty. Chauncey Billups, as the calm and calculated leader of the blue-collar Pistons, didn't just beat them. He systematically outthought, out-hustled, and outplayed them, humiliating them in 5 games. Terry Rozier's biggest pressure-packed moments have come in first-round exits or battling for a play-in spot. There is an entire universe of difference between trying to outscore a mid-tier guard on a Tuesday night and methodically breaking the will of a Mount Rushmore of talent on the NBA's biggest stage. One is a tough night at the office, the other is legend. 5 All-Star selections demonstrate a decade of elite play, not just a few hot streaks. Terry Rozier can put up impressive numbers, and in today's stat-heavy NBA, that can sometimes create the illusion of stardom. But let's look at the peer-reviewed evidence. 5 All-Star selections. That isn't a fluke or a reward for a good month. It's a half-decade of being recognized by coaches, fans, and media as one of the absolute best floor generals in the world. It proves sustained excellence and respect from the entire basketball community. While Rozier has been a productive starter, he's never once been in that elite conversation, let alone for 5 separate seasons. All-star selections are the ultimate filter for separating the good players from the truly great ones. Billups was consistently in that elite club. Rozier has never even had a ticket to the party. Billups' basketball IQ is on a Hall of Fame level. Rozier's is still developing. Watching Chauncey Billups play was like watching a grandmaster play chess while everyone else was playing checkers. He didn't just see the play in front of him, he saw the next 3 plays, the opponent's likely counter, and the perfect moment to exploit a weakness. His game was a masterclass in exploiting angles, controlling pace, and making the right decision 99% of the time. He was a cerebral assassin. Terry Rozier, while talented, plays a much more reactive, instinct-driven game. It can be exciting and lead to explosive scoring nights, but it's also prone to questionable shot selection and forcing the action. Billups processed the game like a supercomputer. Rozier often processes it like a high-speed camera, capturing moments but not the entire sequence. One is genius, the other is talent. 2-time All-Defensive honors prove Billups dominated both ends of the floor. Great offensive players are exciting, but a guard who can dominate on both ends is a championship cornerstone. The NBA All-Defensive Team selection is the ultimate proof of this, and Billups earned that honor twice. He wasn't just present on defense, he was a punishing physical force with a high IQ, capable of neutralizing the other team's primary threat. Terry Rozier, meanwhile, is often the player opposing offenses hunt for on switches. His defensive reputation is, to put it kindly, non-existent. One player was the engine of a defensive juggernaut, a true two-way commander. The other is a specialist asked to score points and, hopefully, stay out of foul trouble. This isn't a minor detail, it's a non-negotiable advantage for Mr. Big Shot. Billups made every single team he joined a legitimate contender. This is perhaps the most undeniable proof of his greatness. Look at the track record. The Pistons were a solid defensive team, but Billups' arrival turned them into a dynasty-killing champion. He leaves for Denver, and a talented but undisciplined Nuggets squad immediately makes its first Western Conference Finals in over 2 decades. He was a franchise alchemist, turning good teams into great ones with his leadership and clutch play alone. Terry Rozier, on the other hand, is an ingredient. You add him to a team, and he gives you scoring. But the team's fundamental ceiling doesn't really change. Billups wasn't just an ingredient, he was the entire recipe for winning. His presence guaranteed a level of seriousness and contention that Rozier simply doesn't command. He commanded respect from legends. Rozier is just another guard in the league. When you hear legends like Kevin Garnett, Rasheed Wallace, or Kobe Bryant talk about Chauncey Billups, they speak with a different tone. It's a tone of deep, earned respect reserved for a true peer, a fellow warrior who understood the game on a profound level. He was viewed as a general, a leader whose word was bond in the locker room and on the court. Ask those same legends about Terry Rozier, and you'd likely get a polite, "he's a good scorer," if they even have a strong opinion at all. Rozier is respected for his talent, sure, but he is one of many in a sea of modern scoring guards. Billups commanded a reverence that transcended statistics, a respect that placed him in the inner circle of the NBA's elite thinkers and winners. Billups controlled the pace of the game like a master conductor. Modern point guards often play at one speed, breakneck. Terry Rozier excels in this chaotic, fast-paced style, thriving when the game is a track meet. Chauncey Billups operated on a completely different plane. He was a maestro who dictated the game's rhythm to his exact preference. If his team needed a frantic push, he provided it. If the opponent was trying to run, he would calmly walk the ball up, bleed the shot clock, and execute a perfect half-court set that would drain their energy and will. This ability to control the tempo is one of the rarest and most valuable skills in basketball. Rozier plays the game, Billups conducted it. He made the opponent play his game, and that's a level of control that leads directly to championships. His #1 jersey hangs in the rafters for a reason. Getting your jersey retired is the ultimate honor a franchise can bestow upon a player. It signifies that your contribution was so monumental, so central to the team's identity and success, that no one else should ever wear that number again. Chauncey Billups' #1 will forever hang above the court in Detroit, a permanent testament to an era of toughness, leadership, and a championship he delivered to the city. It's a statement that says, "This was our guy." Terry Rozier has played for multiple teams and been a valuable contributor, but has he ever been the heart and soul of a franchise to that degree? Not even close. One player is an icon immortalized in franchise history. The other is a talented player passing through. Winning a gold medal with Team USA puts him in a different class of player. Representing your country is an honor. Winning a gold medal at a major international tournament like the FIBA World Championship elevates you to a different stratum. In 2010, Billups was a key veteran leader on a Team USA squad that brought home the gold. This isn't just about talent, it's about being selected as one of the very best players in a nation of superstars, chosen for your IQ, leadership, and ability to win in a high-pressure, single-elimination format. Terry Rozier has never even been in the conversation for a senior national team roster. Billups wasn't just an NBA star, he was an international champion, a player whose game was so respected and fundamentally sound that he was trusted to represent the pinnacle of American basketball. Billups' calm, steady leadership is infinitely more valuable than frantic, high-volume scoring. Terry Rozier's style is exciting. He can catch fire, go on a personal 10-0 run, and fill up a highlight reel with dazzling moves. But that same frantic energy can lead to cold streaks, forced shots, and turnovers in critical moments. Chauncey Billups was the antithesis of that. His game was a portrait of composure. Whether his team was up by 20 or down by 15, his demeanor and decision-making never wavered. This emotional stability is the bedrock of championship teams. It calms teammates, frustrates opponents, and ensures a steady hand is on the wheel when the game is on the line. While Rozier's heat checks are fun, Billups' unwavering, methodical leadership is what actually wins the toughest games when it matters most. He was a bigger, stronger guard who could physically dominate his matchup. Let's talk pure physicality. At 6'3" and a rock-solid 210 pounds, Chauncey Billups was built like a running back. This gave him a massive advantage over the slighter, quicker point guards of his era. He could post them up, bully them on drives to the basket, and absorb contact to finish plays. Defensively, smaller guards simply couldn't move him. Terry Rozier, while athletic, doesn't possess that same imposing physical profile. He relies on speed and quickness. Billups had the rare combination of skill, intelligence, and brute force. He could outthink you, outshoot you, and if all else failed, he could simply outmuscle you. That physical dominance is a weapon Rozier has never had in his arsenal, making Billups a far more versatile and challenging matchup. Playoff success is the ultimate measure, and Billups' resume is legendary. Regular season stats are nice, they pay the bills, but legends are forged in the fires of the NBA playoffs. Let's compare the resumes. Terry Rozier has had some solid playoff moments, most notably in a backup role for Boston. Chauncey Billups, on the other hand, led a team to 6 consecutive conference finals, 6 in a row. That includes 2 NBA Finals appearances and a championship ring. This isn't just a good run, it's a sustained period of elite contention built on his leadership. Rozier has been a first-round exit far more often than he's been a serious threat. Billups' career is defined by deep, meaningful playoff runs. His playoff legacy is that of a consistent winner and a champion. Rozier's is still being written, and it's mostly short stories. Billups maximized the talent around him, making everyone better. The true mark of a great point guard isn't their own stat line, it's the performance of their teammates. Chauncey Billups was a force multiplier. He knew exactly where Richard Hamilton needed the ball coming off a screen, how to set up Rasheed Wallace in the post for maximum effect, and when to dump it to Ben Wallace for an easy finish. He elevated the entire team. Terry Rozier is a score-first guard whose primary objective is to create his own shot. While he can be a good passer, his game is fundamentally about what he can do. Billups' game was always about what we could do. He made good players like Tayshaun Prince look great. This ability to elevate an entire roster is what separates the truly elite floor generals from talented scorers. He beats super teams without being on one. In the modern NBA, the prevailing wisdom is that you need a big 3 of superstars to win a championship. Chauncey Billups spits in the face of that logic. His 2004 Pistons, while featuring a perfectly constructed roster of all-star level talent, had no single player who would be considered a top 5 in the league's superstar. Yet, they systematically dismantled a Lakers team with 4 future Hall of Famers. This is the ultimate testament to Billups' leadership and the power of team basketball. He proved that a perfectly led unit could defeat a collection of individual superstars. Terry Rozier has spent his career as part of talented duos or trios, but has never come close to achieving that level of giant-slaying success. Billups is the blueprint for beating super teams. His efficiency and decision-making were consistently superior. Terry Rozier can fill it up, but his career field goal percentage hovers in the low 40s. It often takes a high volume of shots for him to get his points, a style that can sometimes stall an offense. Chauncey Billups, in contrast, was a model of efficiency. He was a career 40% three-point shooter and an astonishing 89% from the free throw line, where he made his living. But his greatest efficiency was in his decision-making. He rarely turned the ball over, always made the right read in the pick and roll, and understood that a great pass was often better than a good shot. Rozier's game is about creating opportunities for himself. Billups was about creating the best opportunity for the team on every single possession. Billups has a legacy. Rozier has moments. When the story of the NBA in the 2000s is told, Chauncey Billups is a main character. His name is synonymous with the Detroit Pistons' go-into-work era, a defining chapter of toughness, team basketball, and championship pedigree. His legacy is that of a winner, a leader, and one of the clutchest players of his generation. Terry Rozier, by contrast, has a collection of exciting moments. A hot streak in Boston, some big scoring nights in Charlotte, a viral nickname. These are memorable snapshots, but they don't form a cohesive, impactful narrative. A legacy is something built over a decade of sustained, elite performance that changes the trajectory of franchises. Billups built one of the strongest legacies of his time. Rozier is still just collecting moments. The 2004 Pistons are an iconic team built around Billups' will to win. Certain teams become legendary, transcending their era to represent an ideal. The 2004 Pistons are one of those teams. They stand for grit, blue-collar defense, and the triumph of the collective over the individual. And at the heart of that identity was the unwavering, ice-cold will of Chauncey Billups. He was the perfect embodiment of the team's ethos. Tough, smart, unflappable, and utterly devoted to winning. While Ben Wallace was the defensive anchor and Rip Hamilton the offensive spark, Billups was the brain and the soul. Terry Rozier has been a key player on some good teams, but he has never been the central, defining figure of an iconic, championship-winning squad whose identity was a direct reflection of his own character. Even at his peak, Rozier was never considered the best point guard in the league. Billups was. This is the final, undeniable nail in the coffin of this debate. At the absolute apex of his powers, Terry Rozier has been a top 15, maybe top 10 point guard on a very good night. He's a quality starter. During his prime, however, Chauncey Billups was consistently in the conversation for the best point guard on the planet. He was a legitimate rival to guys like Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, and Tony Parker for that top spot. He was a perennial All-NBA selection, which is the official stamp of being one of the 2 or 3 best players at your position. Rozier has never sniffed that level of league-wide recognition. One player was an excellent high-level scorer. The other was a genuine superstar and a candidate for the best in the world. And that's the final shot. Thanks for watching as we put this debate to rest. Make sure to keep the arguments flowing in the comments. We read them all. If you want more undisputed facts and epic takedowns, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, this is 21 Reasons Why. Epic debates, legendary comments.